Hello and welcome to Monday's English session. So today we are going to be carrying on our non-fiction from last week, and we're going to be applying it in an independent discussion piece, an independent piece of writing like we usually would in school. So as a recap, I have got the shapes of our discussion text from last week. Can you remember what each of them stands for? So pause the video, have a little think, and then come back. Okay, so we've got our introduction, which introduces what our discussion is actually about, maybe gives a bit of details, maybe some statistics. Then we've got our alternating for and against paragraphs, where we're going to give our reasons, our evidence. And then we've got our conclusion at the end, which ties everything together, and you can come down on one side, whether you agree or disagree with what the discussion is about. So what we are going to do is we are going to be using the same shape and structure as our school uniform discussion text last week, but we are going to write our independent one based on wholes. Now, all the way at the very beginning of our wholes book, I have taken a snippet from that page. So it says, one of the statements made is that if you take a bad boy and make him dig a hole every day in the hot sun, it will turn him into a good boy. So our discussion, and especially now that we've got to the end of the book, so we know how the book ends, is that true? If you take somebody that has done something bad and give them a physical punishment like digging holes, will it make them become good? And it's a bit of a tricky question, but you might think about other examples in real life. So if somebody does a crime and they get sent to jail for punishment, does that turn them into a better person? Does that make them sorry for what they did, or is it likely to make them not do the same mistake again? And that's what our discussion is sort of going to be about. So it's going to be based on wholes and the fact that they think that if you send children to this detention camp and you get them to dig holes every day, eventually they're going to become better people. And we're going to get you to discuss whether you think that is true or not, whether you agree or disagree with that as a concept. So sort of as punishment to change somebody's character. So all I want you to do is have a think and a plan about whether digging holes will turn bad boys into good boys. So whether punishment of any kind will turn somebody bad or someone that's done something bad into a better person. So maybe if we add this as an underline, so you can choose to, when you're planning your ideas, to base it purely on wholes and the events of wholes and what happens there, whether they turn into better people in the end, whether it was the punishment that did that. Or if you want to take it a step further and link wholes to other things, other outside ideas, then we could think about the question, does punishment create better people? It's completely up to you. If you feel confident to link the events of wholes to something outside, which is going to be harder to do, then you can think about punishment as a whole. If you're not so confident, then just focus purely on the characters in wholes and what happens to them. Do they become better people? Is it because of the punishment? Does the punishment make them better? Okay, so two different options, but in both of them you have to link it or mention wholes, because that's what our focus is, on the fact that they're digging holes to make them better people. So what you're going to do today is what we did last week. I want you to split your page into two and just bullet point some reasons as to why it does make them better and why it doesn't. Okay, and this one's going to be slightly trickier than the school uniform one because it's on a bigger topic, but you also might have a lot more to say about it because it's such a big question. So does punishment lead people to be better? So you could think about punishment like jails, like we've talked about. You could think about small punishments, like if you have done something naughty at home and you get told off about it, does it make you better? Does it make your actions different the next time you come across a similar situation? So you can link it to big things, like people going to jail for crimes and whether it makes them better people. You can link it to little things like when somebody gets told off at home or in school. Does it make them different? Does it make them better? And link it to the fact that we've read all about wholes. We know what happens to Stanley and some of the other characters at the end. Are they better people because of it? So you're going to follow the exact same thing that we did last week. bullet points, some ideas. Make sure you've got enough for 2 paragraphs each, and then come back tomorrow and we're going to have a look at actually putting it into place and having a go at start writing it. So today we're just doing a little bit of planning, really dig deep and think about some reasons for and against.